Hey, my YouTube friends. So today I want to talk about a few things, but mainly using AI to transcribe and summarize your OBS recordings or live streams. So you could be doing an OBS recording at home, you could be running a live stream that could be a virtual live stream or even an event at a venue, right? But this is a great way to be using local AI to be able to transcribe and summarize your events. All right, so let's actually get started. So now for this demonstration, we're going to be using a few things. We're going to be using Ollama that's installed on your computer. We're going to be using a software called Meetily, and we're going to be obviously using OBS Studio. All right, so the first thing you'd want to do is go ahead and open up Ollama. So you want to go to Ollama and you want to go ahead and download Ollama. This right here, and since I'm using Windows, it'll automatically give me the Windows option. Go ahead and download Ollama. That's the first thing you want to do. Now, I've already downloaded it on my computer, so I'm not going to download it again. All right, great. Now, the next thing, once you've downloaded Ollama, the next thing you want to do is download Meetily. Now, Meetily is an application that can be used for transcribing and summarizing your voice. So go ahead and go to Meetily. And what you want to do is, rather than going over here, you just want to go ahead and click on download. And that will download Meetily to your computer. Right now, once again, I've already downloaded Meetily, so I'm not going to actually do it. But if you go to meetily.ai, this is where you can download it. Awesome. Okay, and the last thing you want to do is go ahead and download OBS Studio. Now, OBS Studio, you can actually just do a Google search, go to OBS Studio, and download the Windows version. So now that you've got all three softwares on your computer, the first thing we want to do is open up Ollama, right? So you want to make sure that you've got Ollama actually running on your computer. Great. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to run Ollama, and Ollama is running. Now, there are a couple of things that you'd want to do to make sure that you can actually use Ollama. So as you can see, you've got a whole bunch of different models for Ollama. Now, I've gone ahead and installed the Gemma 3 1B model. So all you need to do is click on that download button, and that'll download the model, right? So that'll download the model to your system. Same thing, you've got a few cloud models as well. You can actually use the cloud models, which will make your system or your sessions a lot quicker, but just keep in mind that they are cloud models, so you're not doing everything locally. But if your computer is not powerful enough, you can surely use those cloud models. So you can click on one of those cloud models, and that'll download the actual cloud. It will not download the entire model, but it will download a manifest file to your computer, right? That will connect your computer's Ollama to the cloud, right? But in this case, I've already gone ahead and done that, so I'm not going to go ahead and do that again. But just keep in mind, you will need to download the models. Great, okay. So now once you've downloaded the models, you can actually close out of Ollama, but when you do, it'll still be running in your little taskbar down over here right at the bottom, right? So you'll have the Ollama icon right at your taskbar, and that's perfectly fine. Then the next software that we want to open up is Meetily. And once you've opened up Meetily, you want to make sure that it's using Ollama. So right by default, Meetily uses its own local built-in AI, right? So what we want to do is go to settings. We'll have a look at the recording settings later on, but we want to right now go to the transcription settings. So here's a few things we want to make sure we're using. Now, the transcript model, there are two options. You've got parakeet, which is a recommended option. It's real-time and accurate. You can leave it at parakeet unless you want to use local whisper, which you can as well. That's got high accuracy. It's excellent. However, you will need to download the model. So that's fine. You can if you want. For this demo, I'm going to just keep it as parakeet. That's a recommended version, and I'm going to use the lightning parakeet model, right? So that's already set. Now we want to go to the summary tab. And in the summary tab, again, we've got a few options. We've got the built-in AI option, right? And we've got a whole bunch of models. So you can actually go ahead and use any of the other LLMs or LLM providers, like for example, Claude, Grok, OpenAI, Open Router. Open Router is great. It's got a whole bunch of models. Some of them give you a lot of free credits. So if I was trying something different, I would actually probably try Open Router. It doesn't have Google for some reason. I really do like the Google Gemini, but it probably has the right ones that fit for purpose. So these are the ones. But in this case, we're going to use Ollama, right? So I'm going to go ahead and select Ollama. And here you go. These are the available models on my computer. So like I mentioned before, I have the cloud model and I have Gemma 3 1B already installed on my computer, right? So what we're going to do in this case, I'm going to select the GPT OSS, the cloud version, because I just want to make things a bit more accurate. I want to make things a bit more quicker. And this computer doesn't actually have an external GPU. So this actually does help me. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to save those settings. Now, what we want to do is, now if we want to just transcribe without using OBS, so this is what I'm going to demonstrate first. In the recording tab, which I mentioned I'm going to show you later on, you want to go ahead and select your audio device. So the audio device that I'm actually using, I'm using a Behringer audio interface. I do have a lot of audio devices, but I'm using the Behringer audio interface, right, for this session. So I'm going to go ahead and keep that selection there. That's perfect. System audio, the default system audio is completely fine, and you can actually go back. Now, once you've done that, and you're all set up right over here, all you really need to do is hit record. And now Meetily is actually recording. So as you can see, while I'm speaking, Meetily is transcribing my words in real time. Correct? So this is actually great. It is making a spelling error over there. You can actually play with the different models to get the right output that you really do want. With the transcription, I know there's Parakeet and Whisper, so you can try Whisper. However, Meetily will transcribe my audio in real time, and it's doing this right now. So let's actually have a chat. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of a transcript, right? So, hey guys, this video is about using OBS with AI to go ahead and transcribe and summarize your meetings. And I wanted to demonstrate this using Ollama, Meetily, and OBS, right? So we're actually now doing a demonstration of just using Meetily and Ollama without OBS. And the next step is I'm going to demonstrate how to actually use OBS in the mix, which is great for folks who want to do live streaming or wanted to be able to do recordings as well in real time. Awesome. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and stop this Meetily recording and see how it works out with the summarization. All right, okay, so I'm going to go ahead and hit stop. And now it's processing and finalizing the transcript. Let's give it a moment, and it gives us information to say the recording saved successfully, 11 transcript segments saved. All right, so if you want to find the recording, I believe we can actually go to the settings and we can check the actual folder for the recording. So there is a folder, and it's saving. I've created a folder over here, which is the Meetily recordings. You can actually open up that folder, and there you go. Those are all my actual audio files that you can see. So you can see exactly where it's saving. It's saving in the music, Meetily recordings. I'll go ahead and close that. Great. Okay, so this was the last session. And as you can see, you can actually find the recordings here as well, I believe. You can actually open up the recordings folder directly from here, which will take you directly to that folder. Great, but we don't want that. Now the next step we want to do is we want to summarize this. So now that your event is done, you want to go ahead and summarize it. So now you can select your AI model from here as well. We've already done that, but this is another opportunity for you to select your model for summarization. I'm going to cancel that. There are templates. There's a whole bunch of templates that you get with it. I'm not going to use this template. I'm going to use a standard meeting notes template. But you can select different types of templates, right? So there's some basic templates. Maybe you can create some new templates. I haven't dived into that, but this is what you've got. And then you can just go ahead and say generate summary. And now it's going to use Ollama Cloud to generate my AI summary of my script. There you go. Beautiful. So now the summary has been generated. So as you can see, it's providing the summary of what we are talking about, key decisions, action items, And this was because we used that standard meeting notes template, right? Which is fine for most things. Okay, great. So that's how you would use Meetily with Ollama. But what we want to do is we want to take it a step further, and we want to use Meetily and Ollama with OBS to actually be able to transcribe and record and summarize your events and your live stream. So let's go ahead and do that. So I'm going to go ahead and start from scratch. I'm going to close out Meetily. I'm going to go ahead and close out Ollama as well. I'm going to quit Ollama. And let's start from the top. So the first thing you want to do is go ahead and open up Ollama. Same thing like we did before. We've got Ollama. We've selected our model. Open our Meetily. Excellent. So we've got Meetily open. I'm going to minimize Meetily for now. And I'm going to go ahead and open up OBS Studio. Now for this demonstration, I'm going to be using the OBS portable version, but you could do this with the standard OBS that you installed earlier, right? Okay. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to open up. I'm going to go to this PC, the local C drive, users, OBS portable. Go to the bin folder, 64-bit, find the OBS icon, 64, right click, run as administrator. Now I want to make sure that I run as administrator because this gives me all access. There are no issues with that. And I like to do that just for safety. Okay, it's not necessary, but I believe it's a good option to use. Now I'm going to go ahead and start from scratch. So I'm going to delete my previous work. Great. Okay, so when you download OBS, either the portable version or the standard version, this is what you'll be presented with. So now the first thing you want to do, and of course, you may want to go ahead and add your video source. I'm going to just go ahead and do a video device capture. I'm going to call this camera. And for this instance, I'm going to go ahead and select OBS virtual camera, just as a demonstration. Right click, go to transform, fit to screen, and there we go. So we've got a camera in there as a basic setup. We'll give it an audio source as well. So we want to capture the microphone. So let's go ahead and give it an audio input capture, and we're going to call this mic. And we're going to select the Behringer input 1 because that's the one I'm using right now for my microphone. We've got the Behringer and we've got the audio signal coming through right over here. That's perfect, right? Now, the next step really is to be able to send the audio from OBS to Meetily. Now, there's one more plugin that you need to install, and that's called the Audio Monitor plugin. I'm going to go ahead and remove that for now and just keep it as default. However, I recommend the workflow that I'm using is using the Audio Monitor. So all you need to do is go back to Chrome, OBS, Audio Monitor. Go to the first option, which is the Audio Monitor OBS Forums. And this will take you to the download section. Okay, so go ahead and click on download. It should actually take you here. And if you're using the standard OBS that you installed, go ahead and download the installer zip. So you can go ahead and download that. And that'll actually go ahead and download into your downloads folder on your computer. Unzip it and install it like a standard application, nothing different. I've actually already installed Audio Monitor, so I'm not going to do that again, but really straightforward. If you need more information, please put your comments and I will help you out with installing Audio Monitor if you get stuck. All right, okay, excellent. So now that you've got Audio Monitor installed, go back to your OBS and it will show up in your docs. So once it's installed, it'll show up in your docs. Select Audio Monitor and it will show up as another doc. Now, as you can see, it's already receiving my feed. So OBS has 6 tracks and at the moment Audio Monitor is receiving my audio on track 1. And you can actually check that by going to Audio Monitor, clicking on this little setup icon and outputs track 1, and we're showing track 1. Now, yes, again, I did forget. There's one more piece of plugin that you want to get. All right, okay. So now that you've got Audio Monitor, go ahead and download Virtual Camera. So what you want to do is, you want to get the VB Audio Virtual Cable. So if you want to go VB Audio, Virtual Audio Cable. Now this will allow you to route audio virtually within your computer from one software to the other. It is an extremely handy software to be able to route the audio from OBS into Meetily, right? Okay, so now just go to the VB Audio website, and the first option, the first tab that you'll see is Virtual Audio Cable, VAC, and go ahead and download the actual virtual audio cable based on your platform. So right now we're using Windows, and you can go ahead and download it for Windows. If you're using Mac, you can download it for Mac as well. I don't believe there's a Linux version, but there may be one coming in the future, right? But at the moment they've got these two. So just go ahead and download it and unzip it and install it. Okay, great. So now once you've done that, you can go ahead and restart OBS. Okay, restart OBS. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to exit out. So now we're back to where we were. We've got OBS Studio running. We've got our audio input. Great. Now, like I mentioned, we need to be able to send this audio that OBS is receiving to Meetily. But we do have the virtual audio cable, and we've got the audio monitor. So the easiest and the best way to do this is, rather than creating an output in OBS, go ahead and go to your audio monitor, click on the cog icon, select output, select track 1, and send that output to the cable input, right? So now we're sending track 1 to the cable input. And what we can see is our microphone in OBS. If we go to advanced audio properties, we can see that our microphone is being sent to all our tracks, including track 1 as well. So now that we know it's going, now we know it's going to track 1. And in Meetily, in our settings, in our recordings, we do have the cable output where Meetily will receive our audio from the cable output. Excellent. So that was the step that we missed. Let's go back here. Now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to test this out again. I'm going to go ahead and hit record in Meetily. It tells us that it's started, and I'm going to notify the participants, and there we go. It is actually transcribing our audio as I speak. So now we're going to give this another test, right? So I'm going to tell Meetily what this meeting is about, or what this conversation or recording is about. Great. Okay. So now, hey guys, this is a YouTube video where I'm actually talking about using OBS Studio with Meetily and Ollama to go ahead and transcribe my audio or my recording, and then go ahead and summarize it, so you can actually use the summary to send to your customers, or to actually add to your YouTube video, just as a summary to take care of what this video is actually about. So this is a great way to actually summarize your recording, your live stream, or your event using OBS Studio. Right? Okay, excellent. So now that we've done that, I'm going to go ahead and hit stop on Meetily. Excellent. So now it's finalizing the transcript. There we go. Back to Meetily. And I'm going to view my meeting. There we go. All right. Once again, I can select the AI model of choice. I'm going to leave it on the cloud model, just makes things quicker. But hey, keep in mind, you can actually go ahead and select multiple, right? Cancel that. And I'm going to go ahead and generate summary again. And it's going to use the cloud model. It's going to generate my AI summary. There we go. Perfect. Obviously, it's a short summary because it was a short conversation, but it tells me the speaker demonstrated a workflow to utilize OBS Studio together with Meetily and Ollama to capture, transcribe, and summarize audio from a YouTube video or live stream. Excellent. Okay. So now that we've got that, that is really what I want to demonstrate. You can literally do anything with the summary. You can copy it, and you can actually put it into an email, and you can email it out, or you can even automate the fact that Meetily uses, we could use maybe OpenClaw to automate the fact that this could be sent as an email down the road, or use any other automation tools like N8N, for example. All right, okay, so now we've got this. Guys, if there are any questions or doubts, please put your comments in the video. I will be making more videos on AI and how AI can be used in media technology. So great. I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.